What's up, everybody? Boyd back with you again. Oh, we've got another quick little update on the Spindrift here. I wanted to make this video to show you guys the interior before I went ahead and sealed everything up. Getting pretty close to that point. I got that all finished up over the weekend. Now, I hadn't gone ahead and looked at the decal set that comes with this, and I was really surprised that they give you all this really nice, detail for the cockpit. You get all these little instrument panel decals and switchboard decals and everything to add a lot of detail in there. I thought I was going to have to go in there and paint all that on. But yeah, they give you these little screens and everything, so it really dresses that up really nice. I'm really loving this little kit so far. And you can see we got our little captain figure guy in there checking something out. This all fit together really good too. People have said that this kit's a little bit wonky, but everything's been fitting together really good. The interior drops in there really nice. You can see we finished the back compartment there, and you've got some more decals that go in there for some markings on the walls and the little workstations there. On the countertops, there's some more on the back wall there by the door, for the door opening and closing. You can see I got the back wall done in the red now, like I was talking about. That turned out really nice. I'm waiting for a control board to get here from Tenant Controls, which is going to do the pulsing engine effects, and that's got to go inside. So it'll probably get here a little bit later this week or maybe early next week, and I'll go ahead and seal this up. I'm just kind of planning out now a little bit on the diorama and everything. You can see I'm laying everything out. One little detail that I added to the cockpit here that you can see are these really crazy flight control yokes that they had on the show, kind of unique to this ship, and it doesn't give you anything there, and I thought it was really weird looking without them, so I went ahead and scratch made those. You can see they're just these basic oval shapes with the handles on there. Now what I use for that is this Sculpey putty over here. Some of you guys may not have seen it, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. You can get this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or probably a lot of craft centers, and this stuff is great because it's like sculpting putty. You can sculpt whatever you want out of it, and then you stick it in the oven at 275 for about 15 minutes, and it completely cures it where it's completely hard. Now the nice part about it is that it's sandable too, so I just made the basic shape here, and then I went ahead and sanded them and kind of cleaned them up a little bit, and then I added the handle detail there with some wire, and the column part there with some wire, so I just glued them to the bottom of the dashboard there and just made it look a little bit better. Like I said, you'll be able to see that through the windshield, so I think it was a detail that was worth adding. And if you look down low like that, you'll be able to see all the way into the back like I talked about. So yeah, this is coming together really good. Now, a couple people brought up that the front end of the model is a trouble spot here where you put the windshield in and everything. Well, I was noticing looking at a couple of the builds on YouTube that this interior is kind of funny. You have to, when you push it inside, it has these little slots that it sits in on the bottom here. And I was noticing too that the front end of this kind of was sticking up a little bit. And so what I did is I kind of tried to push it back, and then I heard this little click, and then it just kind of all of a sudden just dropped down in there. And now it looks a whole lot better. And when I test fit the little side panels here and the windshield frame and then put the top on it, it all looked like it fit really good. So I think that maybe what happened is that they didn't get the interior put down in there all the way flush like it's supposed to be, because if you don't, it's going to be a little far forward, and all this stuff here is going to interfere with the the side panels and trying to get that windshield frame in there. So hopefully that works out. I won't know for sure until I finally put it together, but when I test fit the top and everything on it, it all goes together without any gaps or anything, so I think it's going to be all right. I'm working on the diorama here. I appreciate all the feedback I'm getting for ideas that you guys have for that, but keep in mind, like I said, this is going to be really small. I can't put a huge diorama in my display room anymore. I'm starting to run out of room, so I wanted to have a display that was only slightly bigger than the model, so I can't put a whole lot of stuff around this or it'll just look way too crowded. You always want to have the main theme of your display as the model itself, and not all the stuff that's around it. So I'm just going to put a couple of these little tropical looking trees that I showed you. I'm starting to paint these. I'm starting to add them here and there, figuring out where I want to put them. I'm thinking about putting a few of them over here, kind of something like that. And but I don't want to block anything that that's an interesting detail on the model. Nothing in the front, so you'll be able to look in the windshield. Nothing behind it, so you'll be able to see the engine and all that. And so it'll all work out. I'm going to be doing like a basic dirt floor here, making an imprint of the model into it like I did on the moon bus, and we're going to have our contacts and all that. So it'll be a pretty simplistic base, but, you know, like I said, you're just going to get the idea that it's in that kind of wooded setting. And like I said, I thought it was strange that they use these kind of more tropical looking plants, but the plants that were around the ship were, a lot of them were, you know, kind of in scale with the ship too, where you had bigger plants in the background and all that. But I think that was supposed to simulate like smaller shrubbery or stuff like that, you know, from the old, we need a medium shrubbery from the old Monty Python movie. But so yeah, that's coming together really good. I'm going to be working on the other figures. I wish they gave you the full crew set with this. You only get 3 figures. You get this guy, you get the first officer, and you get the stewardess, which I haven't figured out quite where to put her yet. Maybe I'll put her at one of the chairs in here, but she's in a seated position, so I'm not sure really what I'm going to do with her. Maybe I'll put a little rock, and she's going to be sitting on a rock outside or something here. Now, there is a little... I noticed on the show they always had these little set of steps right here, like a little aluminum frame and everything. It's pretty simple. It's just 2 steps with a little wire frame. So I'll probably go ahead and scratch build that and add that on there because it would make sense. It's pretty, you know, you'd have to be pretty athletic to get up and down in and out of this thing without any steps there. So we'll add that. That'll make a little bit better. So yeah, it's coming along really good. I've got some LED strip lighting here in the bottom side of this that I talked about. This forward one here is going to light the cockpit, and this one here lights the cabin. Now, I went ahead and put this piece of styrene over the lens, or the LEDs in the back, because I didn't want a whole lot of light in the rear cabin. In the show, it looked like it was always quite a bit dim, you know, dark, or almost not dark, but, you know, not lit up very bright. And in the cockpit, it had a little bit more lighting, so I got that worked out. And then I used a resistor here to tone the lighting down just a tiny little bit. You know, you can use resistors on individual points of light to bring them down if you're running everything else at the same voltage, you know. So that worked out pretty good. You can see we got our red lighting going on there in the back. You'll be able to see that through the front windshield there, and you'll probably be able to see a little bit of it through the side windows and stuff. It's a shame that you're closing this all up. I wish, you know, that the top fit better so you could have that removable and everything, but if you leave it loose, it's going to have a whole bunch of light leaks. So I'm going to go ahead and seal it all up. But another thing that a commenter pointed out that I'll mention real quick before I go is the stripes that go on this model. They give you striping that goes on the sides here, and then, of course, the striping we're used to that goes all the way around up here. Then there's a pinstripe that goes on the tail fin. Well, he pointed out that on the TV show that there's no stripe on the side back here, so I didn't notice that, but when I went back and looked, sure enough, he was right. So I'm going to leave that off. That actual kind of ribbing detail that's on here, too, on this model is not on the studio model. So it's too late for me on that one to get rid of that. It's already been painted, and the seam's already done, so I'm not going to worry about that, but I'm just going to leave the stripe off, and we'll just put the, you know, the wraparound stripe on the front here and the pinstripe that goes on the tail fin. I still got to do a little bit of fill work around the edges here. I haven't touched that since the last video. So yeah, that's where we're at with this, guys. My wife's going in for some surgery tomorrow, so I probably won't be doing any updates during the week this week. I'll be back probably over the weekend with another update on this, and we should be pretty far along. I don't know if I'll have the model done yet because I'm waiting on the control board, but maybe we'll have the base done, and we can show you what that looks like. So this has been a lot of fun so far, and I'm really enjoying this little kit. Great little kit to work on. We'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Until then, take care, and happy modeling, you guys.